It was a huge success. I received a great ovation, and for the first time was called by my peers a man of the future.
Without him, there's no electricity as we know it. He revolutionized the modern world, then vanished into obscurity. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest minds in history, died penniless and alone in a New York hotel room. How did a man who changed the course of humanity end up forgotten by the very society he powered? This is the story of a misunderstood genius whose legacy was stolen, ideas buried, and brilliance undervalued. Until decades later, the world finally began to realize what it lost. The electric prodigy who challenged Edison. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in Smiljan, a small village in modern-day Croatia, during the height of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. From the start, he wasn't like other children. He had a photographic memory, spoke 8 languages, and could solve complex mathematical equations in his head without writing them down. By the time he was in his 20s, he was obsessed with one thing: electricity. While the world was still flickering under the dim light of gas lamps, Tesla was already dreaming of harnessing invisible currents to illuminate cities, drive machines, and connect humanity wirelessly. He moved to the United States in 1884 with nothing but 4 cents and a head full of ideas. Shortly after arriving, he began working for Thomas Edison, a man already hailed as the father of the electric age. But the partnership didn't last. Tesla believed in alternating current AC, a system far more efficient and safer for long-distance power transmission. Edison, however, was invested, financially and ideologically, in direct current DC, which was inferior, but already being commercialized. What followed became known as the War of the Currents, a battle not just of electricity, but of vision versus business, of future versus present. Edison launched a smear campaign, electrocuting animals in public demonstrations to scare people away from AC. Tesla, meanwhile, partnered with industrialist George Westinghouse, and together they lit up the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago with AC power, stunning the world and proving Tesla right. He had won the war. But in the long game of power, winning the battle wasn't enough. A mind ahead of his time, and a bank account always behind. After his success with AC, Tesla should have been set for life. Instead, he tore up his royalty contract with Westinghouse during a financial crisis, believing his invention was meant to serve humanity, not profit from it. That one act of idealism may have cost him hundreds of millions of dollars in future earnings. He could have been richer than Edison, richer than J.P. Morgan, but Tesla wasn't a businessman. He was a visionary, and in a world ruled by money, that's a dangerous thing to be. Tesla kept inventing the Tesla coil, wireless energy transmission, remote control. He even envisioned smartphones and the internet nearly a century before they existed. But every time he proposed an idea, he was met with ridicule or rejection. In 1901, he convinced J.P. Morgan to fund a massive wireless tower, Wardenclyffe Tower, which Tesla claimed could transmit energy across the globe. But when Morgan realized Tesla intended to offer wireless power for free, he pulled funding immediately. From then on, Tesla's life became a series of failed projects, missed opportunities, and public embarrassment. He filed over 300 patents in his lifetime, yet made barely enough to pay rent. While other inventors built fortunes licensing their designs and defending patents in court, Tesla often let his ideas slip away. He even lost credit for the invention of radio, which he demonstrated before Guglielmo Marconi, but was only awarded official recognition by the US Supreme Court after his death, dying alone in room 3327. By the 1920s and 30s, Tesla had become a shadow of his former self. He moved from hotel to hotel in New York City, often unable to pay the bill. Once hailed as the next Da Vinci, he now fed pigeons in the park and lived off the charity of friends and sympathetic admirers. He grew paranoid, secretive, and increasingly eccentric. He claimed he was receiving signals from outer space, that he had created a death ray that could end all wars. The press dubbed him a mad scientist. In truth, Tesla may have just been decades ahead of his time. Again, on January 7th, 1943, at the age of 86, Nikola Tesla died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker hotel. No family, no fortune, no eulogy on the front page. FBI agents arrived quickly to seize his documents. Some say it was because of his work on powerful weapons and energy systems. Others say the government feared what his untested inventions might unleash. His funeral was modest, attended by only a few loyal friends and admirers. The man who once lit up the world world now lay in darkness. Stolen dreams, silenced by power. While Tesla faded into obscurity, others built empires off ideas he first imagined. In 1943, the same year he died, the US Supreme Court overturned Marconi's patent on the invention of radio, recognizing Tesla as the true pioneer. But it was too late. Tesla was already gone, and Marconi had long enjoyed fame, wealth, and even a Nobel Prize. This was just one example of many. Others, from Edison to Westinghouse to military contractors, made fortunes applying ideas Tesla had already laid out, either in patents or unpublished notes. And many of Tesla's most ambitious visions, global wireless power, anti-gravity aircraft, even Earth-based free energy, that were locked away, never realized, possibly classified. When the FBI seized his trunks of papers after his death, they handed them over to the Office of Alien Property. Despite Tesla being a US citizen, for years those documents remained hidden. Some speculate they contain dangerous or world-changing ideas, possibly plans for directed energy weapons, weather control, or limitless energy devices. Others believe they were simply ahead of their time, so far ahead in fact that the world still isn't ready. To this day, we don't know the full extent of what Tesla created, or what was taken from him. One thing is certain, Tesla wasn't just robbed of fortune, he was robbed of credit, of recognition, and perhaps even legacy, until others profited off his silence. The renaissance of a forgotten legend, decades passed. His name became a whisper, an obscure footnote in science textbooks. But the 21st century brought a remarkable shift. Thanks to the rise of the internet, the truth about Nikola Tesla began to resurface. Documentaries, biographies, YouTube channels, tech enthusiasts all began to uncover the brilliance hidden behind his forgotten image. He wasn't just a scientist, he was a prophet of technology. Visionaries like Elon Musk named entire companies after him, acknowledging that without Tesla's early contributions, the modern electric car would not exist. Academic institutions re-evaluated his patents. Pop culture embraced him as an icon of genius unrecognized in his time. Even the International Unit of Magnetic Field Strength is now called the Tesla. But perhaps more important than these honors is the lesson his life teaches. Tesla's story resonates now more than ever. In a world obsessed with quick profits, clicks, and celebrity status, here was a man who sacrificed everything: wealth, reputation, comfort, for the pursuit of pure innovation. He didn't chase money, he chased meaning, and that's what made him dangerous to the system. Tesla shows us that true greatness can't always be measured in dollars, that some of the most important voices in history are silenced by power and only heard long after they're gone. Nikola Tesla should have been a billionaire. Instead, he lived his final years feeding pigeons, writing equations no one would read, and dying without a penny to his name. But even now, nearly a century later, his fingerprints are on every corner of modern life. From the electricity powering your devices, to the wireless technologies connecting your world, to the dreams of renewable energy and beyond. Tesla was there first. He was mocked, dismissed, and buried by the very world he helped build. But visionaries like Tesla never truly die. They echo through time. He didn't just invent machines. He imagined what humanity could become. And in the end, he proved something far greater than wealth. That your worth isn't in your wallet, it's in your impact. This was the story of Nikola Tesla, a rich mind in a poor man's suit. A man who electrified the world and was forgotten by it. At Golden Empire, we uncover the untold stories of wealth, power, and the visionaries who risked everything. Subscribe and join us as we explore more legends who rose, fell, and left behind something priceless.